For more than 3 hours now, the anti-terror squad in Lucknow has been trying to capture an alleged terrorist hiding in a house on the outskirts of the city. Sources say that he could be linked to a train blast this morning in Madhya Pradesh, in which 8 people were injured. A shootout between the terror suspect and the police in Thakurganj has been confirmed by the state's police chief Javed Ahmed. Home Minister Rajnath Singh has also been briefed about the operation. The police are saying the suspect has at least one weapon and gunshots are being heard intermittently in the area. Police sources also talking about an ISIS link as well. There have been arrests in other states, in Madhya Pradesh as well. There were 3 people arrested in MP earlier today, 1 person arrested in Kanpur. We have Mr. Daljit Chaudhary, the ADG Law and Order, joining us on the phone line now. Mr. Chaudhary, what update can you give us, sir, without, of course, compromising on any sensitive details?
As you know, already the operation is on in various districts of Uttar Pradesh, and we have already picked up 2 people belonging to the same organization from Kanpur and 1 from Etawah. And the 4th operation, as you know, is going on right now in Lucknow, wherein 1 person is holed up. And we are trying to get him out at the earliest. And the operation is on. The senior officers are there, the ATS commandos and civil police. They are working on it. And I guess in another 1 hour or so, this operation will also be over.
Mr. Chaudhary, you said that there were 2 people in one particular operation who were picked up from the same organization. Can you at all share any details on which organization they're meant to be part of?
They are basically all misguided youth. They are from ISIS, the Khorasan group, which is a newly formed group made by local Kanpur and Lucknow boys. And they've largely been radicalized through social media, from different platforms of social media. And they were very active on that. Now, since we have seized few laptops and other documents and their mobile phones, and from there, they're gathering all the data, and from prima facie, it seems that they've been reading a lot of material on the social media regarding ISIS, and largely I can say in a nutshell, they were all misguided youth. Now, 3 have been arrested in Madhya Pradesh, and 3 we have already arrested. 1 is we are just about to get him out from the house, and there are 2-3 other guys. We are working on it. I guess within another 24 hours.
Mr. Chaudhary, what you're saying is very significant. You're saying that these are misguided youth from ISIS. So you're saying that this is these are young men who've been radicalized through social media, as you put it, and you believe that they actually have a link to ISIS?
Well, this is actually people who get kind of guided by them, people who start following their policies, their whatever they say, if they start adopting in their life. So that is why when it becomes as if they are just part of them, and this is just like that only. So this is one group which we have identified as ISIS Khorasan group, basically largely based in Kanpur and Lucknow. And all have been now been as identified. Few have been picked up in Madhya Pradesh, and few have been picked up in Uttar Pradesh, and rest few who are left behind will be picked up in the 24 hours.
And sir,
so this is a very, very localized group which got a little carried away by the literature which is available on the social media, as you know. So this is that group only.
So
and there were few people who were supplying them arms. They were also being picked up. And I guess that right now the operation which is going on right now, this guy also has certain arms with them and ammunition. And once he is also picked up, I guess the major part of it will be over.
Sir, I know you have to go, and I don't want to keep you long. I just had one question though on the link between all of this to the train blast that happened in Madhya Pradesh today, in which at least 8 people were injured. Is there now a clear link that this group, as you're saying, this very localized group, largely based in Kanpur, was behind this train blast?
Yes, because they have been arrested in Madhya Pradesh. 3 of them have been arrested in Madhya Pradesh, yes. And from there only these links have been, these inputs have come to us.
All right, Mr. Chaudhary, thank you for speaking to us. That was the ADG Law and Order, Daljit Chaudhary, telling us a number of significant things. That operation, of course, still on, but he's saying that these are misguided youth who've been influenced by ISIS literature, have got carried away, as he put it, by ISIS literature on social media. And it is, as he calls it, a localized group that is largely based out of Kanpur, and that the police believe that they were behind this train blast in Madhya Pradesh that took place earlier today. This was a train that was going from Bhopal to Ujjain, a passenger train. It had a blast in the Shajapur district, injuring about 8 people earlier today. And there is believed to be this one terror suspect that the police are now trying to get in Lucknow, on the outskirts of the city, who is in a very densely populated area at the moment, which is why obviously authorities and the police are proceeding very, very carefully on this. Alok Pandey also joining us for the very latest on this story. Alok, we're hearing what the police are saying about this. What's the latest that you're getting from there?
Well, yes, this is what we have been reporting, Nidhi, for a while now, the fact that there seem to be some kind of links with ISIS to this entire operation that's been happening in Kanpur and in Lucknow. Now the ADG has also confirmed that one person has been picked up from Etawah. Etawah is, of course, a district right next to Kanpur. So, yes, all in all, it does seem that this the police is investigating and trying to get this person who's holed up in Lucknow, and they are investigating some kind of links of this largely localized group, as Mr. Daljit Chaudhary was saying, to the ISIS, and also to the attack on the train in Madhya Pradesh that has now been confirmed to be a terror attack in which 8 people were injured. So at the moment, what we are hearing from the ground in that place where that suspected person is holed up is that he has still not come out. The police are still trying to restrain themselves and trying to ensure that he is arrested alive, and only then will they manage to interrogate him. Like the ADG Law and Order said, 2 people have been picked up from Kanpur, 1 more person from Etawah, and they're looking out for a few more people. So significant that the police is now giving out all these details, and they seem to be sure of at least this, that this was a largely localized group but was influenced by literature related to the terror organization ISIS. I think we'll have to wait a few hours to also see what happens to this person who is holed up in Lucknow. The police, of course, saying that they want to arrest him and interrogate him.
All right, Alok, thanks for that update. And in the studio with us here, we have the former director of the Intelligence Bureau, Mr. Arun Bhagat, Ajay Shukla, strategic affairs expert here in the studio with us as well. Mr. Bhagat, does this surprise you, the fact that the police are now talking about these youth apparently being, sort of carried away, as the police was saying, by ISIS literature? This must be quite a big concern today to all of us.
Well, it is a concern all over the world, because the number of cases have taken place where these youngsters or middle-aged men even have been motivated by the propaganda of the ISIS, and they are very, very much very active as far as the social media is concerned. As a matter of fact, this they have adopted as the major means of communication and converting people to their thinking and their ideas and ideology. Now, this has been seen to have happened all over, in Paris, in the United States, in Germany. The investigations have revealed that it was through the social media that they were able to get these people to their line of thinking. And then lately, as late as I think about 15-20 days back, al-Baghdadi has made an announcement very openly, and he has asked for lone wolf action, lone wolf terrorism, as he has said. And he has also asked, particularly when they were losing out as far as Mosul was concerned, he has asked all his cadres and all the sympathizers to concentrate on lone wolf terrorist acts. So, unfortunately,
this is a concern, and like you said, I mean, Ajay, that's what makes this actually very worrying, that this is not like your, for want of a better word, traditional terror group. This is young men in different parts of the world who are being inspired by a terrorist organization through social media and, carrying out so-called lone wolf attacks, or attacks on a smaller scale, or whatever you want to call it. How worried are you listening to this?
Actually, I am worried, but what I am a little surprised at is that the ADG, Daljit Chaudhary, appears to be really downplaying this. He said these are just misguided youth. He was sort of I got the distinct impression that he was trying to downplay the seriousness of what they were doing. Now, these are not lone wolves. This is a cell. These are 6 people who have been found to be interlinked with each other. These are people who are capable of action, according to the police themselves. The train attack this morning was carried out. So, they have successfully acted. They have one heavily armed person holed up right now. So, the question of downplaying this either as just misguided youth or even as a lone wolf attack, one person who's been radicalized, no. This is a cell, a full-fledged functional cell.
Why do you think he would downplay it?
Clearly, I think he has. They're rolling up the cell right now. The people who were arrested in Madhya Pradesh led to the people who are in Kanpur, and they in turn has been led to. So they're in the process of rolling up the cell. And when you're rolling up, when you're still doing interrogation, you don't want to make it sound like you're really going to throw the book at the people concerned. You want to sound understanding. You want more information to come out from there. So that's standard police tactics. But also, I think we do need to take note at this point in time that this is taking place in UP, where the 7th round of polling is about to be held. There's a highly polarized election environment right now. There are gunmen at loose from various parties. All parties have their strong arm wings in UP. So I'm watching. I'm still watching. I think the jury is still out on what's happening.
Well, that's interesting. Mr. Bhagat, do you see any link at all to the
I don't
this
know.
last round of elections?
It's too early to come to the conclusion that there is a cell. You see, it can be that they have the contacts. It is possible that they have been exchanging ideas. But that doesn't mean that they've got together and made a conspiracy. And you see, there was some mention about arms being obtained. Now, arms being obtained from whom? You see, we know that there are illegal manufacture of arms in a big way in all these areas, whether it is Faizabad or it is Etawah or Kanpur or Lucknow. All these areas have got their own gunsmiths who make arms. So maybe the contacts are for obtaining arms. Anyway, it is too early to say.
Absolutely, the operation is still on.
It may well turn out to be a cell, or it may turn out to be just a collection of people who have acted independently. Let us see.
Well, Ajay, the last question then is, how does India deal with that challenge of radicalized youth through social media? You hear of the isolated arrests of people who tried to go and fight in Syria, let's say, may have had an ISIS link. But it's a very difficult challenge, isn't it?
It's a very, very difficult challenge. And the only way you can do it is to have a generally contented youth, not a highly discontented youth that is going out there, because the way that the ISIS has set up their media contact program is that a person who's there on the net and is searching for contacts with ISIS, expressing disgruntlement and disillusionment, ISIS ensures that within a very short period of time, he will be contacted by a so-called mentor, and that mentor leads him on to sort of further ISIS contacts.
It's a very,
it's very well organized. It's a superb media program, and the only way you can do it is by dealing with your end of this contact, which is the disgruntled youth. If you have a very large population of disgruntled youth, it's really tough to rein them in.
Well, thank you to you both for joining us on this developing story tonight. Let's see how this operation plays out. The ADG was hopeful that in the next hour or two, they would be able to end this operation in Lucknow. Remember, this is happening in a very densely populated residential area. There is believed to be one terror suspect only who is inside with weapons. And of course, the bigger concern is whether he is part of a bigger terror cell that has somehow been influenced by the ISIS, as the police says, or whether there is something more to this story. It's one that we'll continue to track very closely.